Happy Friday. It's time to kick back, relax, get cozy, grab yourself a drink and maybe a cheeky snack, and welcome back to another episode of Yappy Hour, the video series in which we chat, we vent, and we spill the tea on this week's highs and lows. Welcome back and cheers. Now, as usual, during this Yappy Hour episode, I will be doing some skincare. But what's on today's rotation? Last time we spoke about my chronic injury, so my chronic pain, and all of the changes that I've made recently that have been for the better, my ADHD diagnosis, and a few other things. But this week we're going to chat about other things and other happenings that happened during the week. So one of the major things that's happening at the moment is there is a lot of changes going on with my work. So in the last episode, I mentioned that I needed to pick up some more hours. And the reason for me needing to pick up more hours is because we actually lost our store manager. Now, it's kind of under a cloud of nobody knows what really happened. All we know is that he wasn't doing his job properly and he was either let go or he quit. But essentially, left without a store manager for about a week. It was crazy, and we were running on a skeleton crew, not really knowing what to do, essentially. But now we have a new store manager on board. He's a fantastic manager. I have worked with him in the past, and I'm really excited to get going because I am actually part of the management team. So I am actually the third in charge. So starting Monday, he starts at our store. He's been sort of managing our store as well as Noosa this past week. But on Monday, he starts at Maroochydore full-time, and I go back to Maroochydore full-time. So my roster has changed from 2 days a week to 4 days a week. So 4 days one week, 3 days the next, and then when my ASM goes on paternity leave, I will be picking up more shifts again. Now, I had my first ever Thursday shift yesterday, and look, it was a really, really bad ADHD day. I think there is so much change going on in my life right now that the medication, because we are only in early stages of medication, we haven't found the right dose. So I had a really stressful day, and it felt like TV static in my brain. It was awful. Like, I wouldn't wish it on anyone. That's how bad my day was. Like, it went from bad to awful to worse to worse to worse. I didn't get home until close to 8:30, and Jesse was already in bed when I got home because he had work this morning and he's been sick. So I didn't really get to spend much time with Jesse yesterday. So on Thursdays we do actually open until 7:30. So of course I wasn't going to get home until late. It just took me longer to do the closing procedures than normal because my brain just wasn't there. Drink break. Now, the next week is basically going to be full of meetings because the old store manager at Maroochydore he was not doing his job. So the store has fallen into disrepair. So on, I think, Wednesday, I need to go in on my day off and I need to sit down with our new store manager at ASM, and we need to basically write down a plan of what's going to be happening in the next couple of months to get the store back to where it needs to be. And this is where I guess I'm finding a little bit of issue. I've been doing more than my job for a very long time. And as a duty manager, I don't get paid very well in comparison to the actual managers. So I feel like it's unfair for me to be putting in all of this work, but at the same time, I am a team player, especially when I have a good team backing me, and I 100% have a good team backing me right now. So I don't mind putting the work in, but also at the same time, I'm just exhausted. I am still dealing with the fallout of changing medications, as well as starting on the Vyvanse. There's a lot of change going on in my life, and I don't think I've given myself a chance to fully process it because yesterday I basically just shut down and went into overwhelmed stage where I let my ADHD and my autism get the best of me, and I was just a stress head all day, and it was friggin' awful. Like, wouldn't recommend it at all. But a couple of really good things that's come out of this week is I had a follow-up appointment with my physiotherapist the other day, and my movement in my wrist is actually improved even further. So we are past 90 degrees now on this, and we are past 75 degrees on this when we couldn't get past 75 degrees 3 weeks ago. So the fact that I'm actually actively using it a lot more is a really, really good thing, because it's allowing the movement to come back naturally as opposed to the movement being forced to come back. On a positive note with the Vyvanse is one thing I have noticed since being on Vyvanse is that all of these ideas that I've had in my brain for years upon years of different side hustles I can start, different things that I want to do, they are spilling out of my brain like hot lava. I have a notebook downstairs that is just full of ideas. I have ideas for about 3 different shops where I can run shops that essentially I don't have to hold any stock on hand. So order gets made, it goes straight to the manufacturer, and then from the manufacturer it goes straight to the customer, because obviously Jessie and I don't have a lot of space here, so it's really hard to start a business and actually have stock on hand. One of the main things I do need to do actually is I need to completely close down my previous business, which was Aurora Crystals. So if you guys know anyone who would be interested in buying probably about $4,000 worth of crystal stock, let me know. Pop something in the comments and I'll price up and do an inventory of what I've got, and I'm happy to do it at wholesale prices, obviously, and just to get it out of off my hands. You know what? Other things that I really want to do that I'm kind of keeping secret because I want to put it in a different video about what I really, really want to do, but it means helping others. And if you guys know me, you know that I am all about helping others. Every business that I've ever started has always been with the intent of helping others. And one of the businesses that I do want to start is a digital downloads page on Etsy, where I make journal entries for people who suffer with chronic pain, ADHD, autism, chronic illness and stuff like this, because when I say I have so much experience in this, doctors want records. They want records of how much pain you were in, what you were doing when you were in that much pain, when you took your painkillers, what it took your pain down to, and there is no template that can be applied to anything. And when I was looking for myself to try and start keeping a catalog on my pain, I couldn't find it. I ended up just using the notes app on my phone, and I forgot half the time. So doing something like that will help people remember to write down when they took their dosage of their medication and what their pain was at when they took their dosage and what their pain was at an hour after they took their dosage. It will really help people with their doctors to work on getting their issues better. Another thing that's been going on is I've been having a lot of problems with my PCOS. So for those of you who don't know what PCOS is called polycystic ovarian syndrome. I've had some pretty intense problems with my PCOS. I think I'm going to do a video separately on that because, again, there's not enough literature out there about PCOS and what it can do to a woman's body. And I believe that, I think it's 1 in 10 people or 1 in 5 people is diagnosed with PCOS. And there's not enough information out there. There's no cure for it. And I just think that it's something that needs its own video. So you will be seeing a video from that. So you'll probably be seeing a lot of educational content from me. All right, guys, and that's a wrap on this episode. Thank you for hanging out with me, spilling the tea, and having a yap with me. If you guys enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, follow, and comment. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Next episode will be out on Monday. So until then, stay chaotic, stay sassy, and I'll see you guys then. Love you guys. Bye. Mwah.